When I say web animations, what will you think? You might be thinking of Eddsworld, Salad Fingers, Tales from the Foundation, or even Adventure Man.
Open your stupid eyes!
Nick, Steve is still inside American Dad Show.
Oh my god.
All of these are classified as web animated series. It's around the fact that these animations come from small, independent artists putting their works out onto the wondrous world of the internet. It's also what they're known for, independence. A lot of mainstream shows aren't exactly known for their openness. Instead, it's just a bunch of executives behind the scenes making sure that everything is up to their network standards. Meanwhile, indie animations don't really have to go through all that pressure because they're not a part of those big media companies.
Oh, harder, Daddy! Son?
And because of that, they're allowed to do whatever they want with their work. They can make it raunchy, they can make it dark, they can make a social commentary, they can do anything. That's why it's called independent animation. So, where am I going with this? Oni Zelig.
He said it! He said it!
Oni Zelig, or Unsociable in English, is a Dutch animated series created by Studio Massa, a YouTube channel that currently has 44,000 subscribers. For 3 years now, I've been watching this one animated series that has recently released their final episode just a month ago while writing this. And if you want to get a look at a web animated series, especially one that was put together by a one-man studio, then this is it. Although I think I have to correct myself here and say that Oni Zelig is not exactly a series, but more like a pilot of what it would be. And this pilot has released up to 6 episodes in the form of 5 videos, which might confuse a lot of you, but trust me, once we get into it, it'll make a lot more sense. But what is Oni Zelig about anyways? Well, Oni Zelig is about 3 adopted sisters redoing their history presentations after initially failing. One of them have a hard time redoing the presentation and has to work with her other sisters, something that she's uncomfortable with due to her horrible social skills. The series and Studio Massa's channel itself are all in Dutch. And because of that, it's not exactly getting as much attention compared to other web animation series in English. For those that do know Oni Zelig, some of them try to compare it to another series called Watamote.
You look like you're about to tell your friend not to come to school tomorrow, man.
I mean, they do have similar elements, but they're completely different genres, which I'll talk about later. For now, let's just talk more about this hidden gem, just so we're all on the same page.
Let's go!
We start the pilot off with our first video, Oni Zelig Deel 1 and 2. Deel meaning episode or part of a series in Dutch. The first thing we see is our main character of the pilot, Maya, sitting in her neckbeard nest. It's there where she watches something spicy happening on her computer in the middle of her dark room. But by the time that one cum shot moment was about to happen, we get a Coco jump scare.
Hoi Maya! Oh hey.
Coco is one of Maya's adopted sisters, and unlike her, she's actually popular. She has a social life, a friend group, she comes across as very joyous and charming, and overall, she touches grass. Maya, on the other hand, is the opposite. You can tell just how good her social skills are just through her conversation with Coco.
Ik was gewoon, landschapskunst aan het waarderen.
Oh, wat een wonderlijk tijdsverdrijf. Wie is jouw favoriete schilder?
Hitler?
Coco entered Maya's room because she's having problems with her computer.
Heb je geprobeerd hem opnieuw op te starten?
She revealed that there's a history presentation due tomorrow and she was trying to work on it. However, she doesn't have the most top-notch tech skills. Maya, on the other hand, seems to know a lot more about computers, and Coco suggests if she and her can work together. Having this friendly offer suggested, Maya runs out of the room, leaving both Coco and her computer open. Oh, look at that, she plays Sims and uses Brave. We cut to Maya be tied up in easily tearable tape. Come on, Maya, just break out of it. It's so easy. We get some insight onto Maya's personal struggles as she gazes at her photograph.
Geen paniek. Denk eraan, het is maar een fase. Niets om wakker van te liggen.
We get more insight as Maya looks at a drawing that she made, showing her being all alone on an island, carefree of everything. From what we can interpret, it seemed Maya grew up all alone, despite the fact that she was surrounded by peers and her sisters. She might have initially thought that this was a temporary phase, but as time passed, nothing really changed her situation. This caused her to be withdrawn from everyone around her, whether they were part of her family or not. Her drawing tells us how much she wants to be away from everyone, as those lonely moments are the only time she feels comfortable. It's gone that far. Her monologue stops as it looks like Maya's been captured by the most scariest thing imaginable: European colonizers. In reality, it's actually her other adopted sister, Mai, pretending to be a European colonizer. Maya tries playing along with the performance until, well, this happens.
Maar voor zo'n onbezoedeld exemplaar kan ik wel een betere bedrijvigheid bedenken. Als je begrijpt wat ik bedoel.
Oh, ga je mijn maagdeneiland koloniseren?
Mai is a Dutch nationalist and can be considered as the comedic relief of the series, as she makes up for all the dark humor jokes. She's also by far the most animated of the bunch, and compared to Coco and Maya, doesn't seem to have any personal struggles. After berating Maya for her incest fetish, Mai tells her that tomorrow is a very important day, that day being
Wil je me losmaken?
Geschiedenispresentatiedag!
She tells Maya that her plan is to give the best damn presentation in the classroom, which will make her popular enough for the class to vote her in as class representative, or as Mai describes it herself. We transition back to Maya's room, right where she left Coco. She tries searching up history on Maya's computer, but accidentally ends up deleting System 32 in the process. Rest in piss, Maya's computer. She tries finding other ways to get her history and finds the kebab menu. She goes down, clicks on history, and finds 34 tabs. Huh, I wonder what this is implying. This is the moment that Deal 1 ends. When Deal 2 starts, we get the horrifying imagery of a Dutch school and a fallen computer.
Oh my god!
Inside the school, Mai has finished giving her presentation, but as it turns out, the presentation was never about history. It was about why she should become class representative.
Ja, nee, dat was letterlijk een lijst van redenen waarom jij klasvertegenwoordiger moet worden. Dat had niks met geschiedenis te maken.
The character here is Vera Persian. She's the teacher of this classroom and can be considered as this universe's Squidward, as she's always tired and forced to put up with the sisters' antics. Especially with Mai, and she doesn't find her presentation to be appealing. And when Vera tells Mai that she fails, Mai's had enough.
Niet eens.
A gun in school. It happened today at Coleraine High School, and a student is under arrest.
Fortunately, the would-be school shooter is incapacitated by Vera's crippling alcoholism, and Mai's sent to her seat. The next person to present is Maya, only except there's one problem.
Ik heb presentatie.
Maya, iedereen heeft presentatie.
She tries using a sick leave as an excuse, but that falls apart once she realizes that Coco and Mai had reminded her of their history presentations. Vera fails Maya and calls up Coco while she refuels with some Fortnite shield potions. Coco then reveals that her presentation is about mollusk love in ancient Japan. She brings up the video that Maya was viewing in the beginning and shows it off to the whole class, landing her in trouble.
Wat heb ik verkeerd gedaan?
And with that, Deal 2 ends. Oh, hey, look at that. It's Sour Nail. Only Zelig Deal 3 was uploaded on September 8th, 2020, just 1 year and 2 months after the first video. We start off with a background character holding a sign saying Coco did nothing wrong, and go to Vera's office, where she holds all 3 sisters for their presentations.
Wat, zijn jullie Mongolen of zo?
Oh nee, wij komen niet uit Mongolië niet.
It's here we also get some background information on each of our main characters. The extroverted sister of the bunch, Coco, is from South Africa. And while we don't know what specific age, we do know that she was adopted around the same age as her other sisters. In Deal 1, when we got a shot of Maya's drawing, we also got a shot of Coco's drawing, which showed her holding hands with her original parents. It's unknown what happened to them, but there are speculations that they could have been victims of farm attacks in South Africa. However, because Coco never really talks about them, we can't really know for sure. Mai was originally from Nagasaki, Japan before she was adopted. We don't know what happened before her adoption, although after she was adopted and she moved to the Netherlands, she became a Dutch nationalist. And to make sure that Mai fits in with the Dutch, she changed her entire appearance. Having said this, it's also to be noted that Mai doesn't want to be associated with Japan or Japanese content. But she does seem to be aware of certain things regarding Japan, mostly anime.
Lees jij mijn schoolkrantartikelen wel?
This could also explain why she had this smug face on her during and after Coco's presentation, cause she knew exactly what she was gonna show. And then there's Maya. Maya's from Belgium, although she tries to correct that by saying that she's from Brabant, which is a province. Although it's hinted that she might have Indonesian origins, as in the back of the class in Deal 2, you had the maps of Japan, South Africa, and Europe being compared to Indonesia. After Coco introduces her sisters, Vera decides to give them a second chance for their presentation out of pity for their stupidity. She tells them to do a history presentation about their country of origin and turn it in by the end of the week. But she pushes the due date a day back every time Mai makes a reasonable excuse.
Oké dan, 5 uur op donderdag.
Oh, dan heb ik aids.
Also, this is when the animation goes beyond compared to the last video. The last video's animation was alright, but here it's gotten better. You can see that Mai's movements are a lot more smoother in this video. The same can be said about her sisters, and while they're not moving as much as Mai, I still think the results come up as the same with hers. Seeing the pilot's animation is very impressive, and especially in moments like these where it gives off this satisfying feeling just by watching it. And considering that Deal 3 came out a year after Deal 1 and 2, I couldn't imagine how much of that time went into putting more frames into the animation. After Maya tries speaking out, Vera pushes the due date to this evening at the computer lab, causing Maya to freak out. We cut to the outside, and it's as if the last scene with Vera never even happened. Maya's seen hanging out with 2 other people, and they're having a good time and actually bonding. And she's also socializing with them, and they seem to like her. Wow, this is actually really nice.
Snap back to reality.
Yep, it was just Maya daydreaming, and it only took a text message from Coco to stop it. Regardless, this is still an interesting scene to talk about. We've been shown that Maya doesn't want to be around anyone or anything bothering her, yet this fantasy of hers is the complete opposite thought. While Maya might be comfortable and maybe even happy just by being away from people, here she's hanging out with them, and she looks more happier than ever. No, this is not a plot to a Smiling Friends episode. And remember this, Maya is supposed to be Oni Zelig. She's supposed to be the unsociable of the 3 sisters. Perhaps it's there to tell us that she secretly wants to be sociable and doesn't want to be alone. Well, maybe, but we'll have to see more to come up with that conclusion. Right before Deal 3 ends, Maya texts Coco back saying that she's with friends, and Coco gives off this confused expression, suggesting that something is going on. For now, we are halfway through the pilot. Deal 4 was uploaded on October 14th, 2021, just 1 year and 1 month after Deal 3. I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
We start off with the same background character from Deal 3 holding a sign saying "Good luck, Coco." We then cut to the sisters trying to redo their presentation. However, Maya's having a bit of trouble. Suddenly, another Coco jump scare.
Hoi Maya!
Coco approaches Maya and asks her a question, making Maya nervous.
Waar zit je in de pauze, Maya? Wie zijn je vrienden, Maya? Waarom krijg je petsnats, Maya?
Ik heb Parkinson.
Wat?
Wat?
Coco was checking in to see if Maya would like to join her and Mai redo their presentations, as it's due in a few hours. Mai rolls in towards Maya and confirms that she doesn't have Parkinson's. She has autism.
Je hebt geen Parkinson.
Weet ik.
Je bent een kerngezonde, vitale autist.
Maya reveals that she has ADD, which stands for
Attention Deficit Disorder. Ik kan me slecht concentreren.
ADD, as the name suggests, is a disorder that makes people have trouble concentrating, and it's almost identical to ADHD. Along with affecting someone's concentration, it can also affect the behavior of a person, making them act without thinking of any repercussions. This could be a possible explanation behind Maya's withdrawn behavior, as whenever she has to talk to people, she's usually anxious and nervous. Coco is open as to how they can help Maya and her problem, and Maya sends her and Mai to a separate table. Oh look, the animation here changes. Again, this is not related to Smiling Friends. Maya tries pumping herself up to complete the presentation, and after a quick montage, it turns out that she's done nothing. With barely any progress, and with very little time left, Maya makes the hard decision to ask her sisters for help, or else she'll fail the class. Coco pulls up a chair and invites Maya to sit with her and Mai so that they can help her. And with that, Deal 4 ends, with only 2 more videos left. Deal 5 was uploaded on March 25th, 2022, and out of all the other parts, it's my favorite one of the whole pilot. The video starts at the table as Coco and Mai help Maya on her presentation about Belgium.
België? Laat dat maar aan mij over.
Wauw, dat was heel erg racistisch.
Belgen zijn geen ras.
Yeah, let's just trust the school shooter. I'm sure they'll be able to give a reasonable presentation. One thing I like about Deal 3 from the rest is this shot here. For the majority of the video, it remains on this shot of the girls. I don't know if Studio Massa did this out of merit, or if they wanted to meet their deadlines as quickly as possible. Whatever the case, this makes Deal 5 on a stylized approach stand out from the other parts. Coco splits the presentation up. She'll be working on Belgian paintings, Maya will talk about Belgian trading, and Mai will help do slide animations. This plan gives Maya some confidence, and she seems convinced that she can get this done with the help from her sisters. It's probably the most optimistic Maya's ever been in the pilot. However, it doesn't last. As Maya is comfortable enough to try and do her presentation, Mai also gets comfortable asking Maya some personal questions.
Zo erg?
Maya, waar zit je in de pauze?
Maya zit bij haar vrienden. Niet waar, Maya?
Ja.
Oh. Maar wie zijn je vrienden dan?
Mij?
En waarom krijg je
Weet je wat?
Maya gets nervous and becomes unwilling to complete her presentation, opting to just fail the class instead. Coco tries calming things down and reassures Maya that they aren't doing anything wrong and that she and Mai just want to work with her. When Maya and Mai ask Coco why she's so intent on working with Maya, Coco struggles to respond. Her answers become muddled, from wanting to spend time with Maya and working together because they're family, but she would eventually reveal the real reason.
Omdat ik weet dat je geen vrienden hebt. Niet.
Coco knows that Maya doesn't have any friends, and out of pure sympathy, she wanted to be around Maya so that she didn't need to feel lonely. However, in the process of admitting to this, Mai now knows that Maya is lonely. To Maya, hearing Coco say this is like an insult directed towards her. And in reaction to this, Maya will say something that she'll soon regret.
Liever geen vrienden dan geen ouders.
Ik hoor geen excuses niet, Maya.
Probably the most powerful scene in the pilot. It's the only time in the pilot where we see Coco, our kind-hearted character, just completely break. You can see small animation details, like her eyes swelling up, trying to hold back tears, yet she's still maintaining this positive attitude, while she forces Maya to apologize. It really shows how losing her parents traumatized Coco. Along with that, this scene is also questioning Maya's ethics. Coco was just trying to help Maya by socializing with her, so that way she wouldn't feel lonely and that she would get out of this phase of hers. It's not like Coco was doing this just to embarrass Maya. You can see this from the very beginning of the pilot where she was actually trying to help her. In Deal 1, the reason why Coco came to Maya wasn't just for help on her presentation, it was because she wanted to spend time with her so she wouldn't feel left out. She was the one that suggested the idea of working together, but instead, Maya ran out of her room, refusing her offer. In the after credits scenes of Deal 3, when Maya texts back to Coco, she said that she was with friends, which was a total lie. This was an early indication of the reveal in Deal 5, as it would explain Coco's confused expression, because she knew that Maya didn't have friends. In Deal 4, while Mai was poking fun at Maya, Coco seemed genuine and open, even cutting Mai off from bothering Maya. She even approached Maya at the start of the video, almost in a similar style as in Deal 1. And here in Deal 5, she wanted to help Maya with her presentation, researching about her country, and laying out a plan to get her work completed so she doesn't fail. Coco really does care for Maya, and she wants to help her so she can see her at her best, because right now, she's not doing fine, despite what Maya might tell herself. I think it's safe to say that with Coco's actions, we can declare her as this universe's Giga Chad. Now, whether Maya said this out of the moment, or if it was her ADD that was causing her to speak before she thinks, is debatable. However, Maya is definitely in the wrong here for insulting her sister, who is trying to help her. There's definitely a reason that is contributed towards her character's flaws, probably because of her being socially away from everyone, which could be affecting how she's so apathetic. Another reason could be Coco herself.
Long!
Is het duidelijk zo, Maya?
Like I said before, Maya is the complete opposite of Coco, and seeing her around people while she's by herself could spark some jealousy towards Coco. You can see this in Deal 1. When Coco appears, Maya points out that she had signs in place to keep Coco out. One of these translating to Prohibited Access, Unauthorized Persons, Article 461, Criminal Law. Man, I know so much Dutch here. In the same video, Maya looked like she had a lot more difficulty speaking with Coco compared to Mai. Well, excluding that one line. Another reason could be that Maya just has trouble processing times where people are trying to help her. In this little moment in Deal 4, while she was pondering why Coco was trying to get close to her, she brought something up. Maya brought up the possibility that the reason why Coco is hanging out with her is because she thinks that it's fun to be around her. However, and before she finishes her sentence, Maya stops and says that's an impossible conclusion. So perhaps Maya doesn't really know how to handle moments where someone is genuinely trying to socialize with her. It's moments like these that make looking back at Oni Zelik's videos worth the while, as you start to piece everything together that led up to this one moment, and I love it. I love it. I genuinely enjoy it. At the end of the scene, Maya apologizes and Coco pulls her up. She then runs out of the library, and we get this moment of silence that's finally broken by our favorite National Socialist.
Van de zondige kant, de animatie is af.
Second favorite. And with that, Deal 5 ends. Our final video, Onizelic Deal 6, was released 1 month ago as of writing this on October 9th, 2022. And the second Deal 6 starts, it grabs your attention.
Dus, dit is hoe het eindigt.
Maya is over the edge on a rooftop and is threatening to commit suicide. Alongside her are the same characters from before, however the only thing that's different are their expressions. They're both disinterested with Maya. Maya pretends to fall, but still the characters' expressions remain the same. That is until the girl on the right speaks to Maya.
Maya. Je bent gênant.
Maya, you're cringe. Plus L. Plus didn't care.
I don't know, this guy's suspect.
Plus kill yourself. Of course, it was another one of Maya's imaginations, and she's back in the bathroom. We then get shots of Maya's childhood, showing us that since the very start, she's always been lonely. Maya breaks this collage by calling Coco an orphan.
Hou je bek, beestkind.
Wat?
Waar bemoei jij je mee?
Maya has sent us to the island, the same one where she wishes to be alone. After kicking Coco off her island, Maya lays in the water to reflect on herself.
Ik ben niet eenzaam. Eenzaamheid is een extraverte complot. Ik heb jullie niet nodig.
Maya is a very flawed person that seems to deflect the fact that she's introverted, even saying that loneliness is a extroverted conspiracy theory. Yet she doesn't deny herself that she doesn't want to be around people. As Maya's reflecting on herself, her ADD dream ends once she realizes that she has a presentation due. She runs out of the bathroom when...
Oh, hoi Maya.
Coco had ran off to find Maya, first apologizing to her for threatening her life and telling her that Vera's in the computer lab and she needs to present her project ASAP. Maya tells Coco that she doesn't have a presentation, except she does, just from Mai.
België? Laat dat maar aan Mai over.
Nee!
Coco tells Maya not to panic as she gave Mai some points on where to change the presentation so it doesn't end up racist. With no other choice, Maya has to present with Mai's presentation of Belgium. We cut to the end of Maya's presentation and Vera looks skeptical as she's sucking on this cigarette lollipop.
Weet je, dat klonk wel heel erg als iets wat mij mee zou presenteren. Maar het was niet racistisch, dus het zal wel niet.
Thankfully, Maya passes the project and is left speechless. We see her and her sisters riding their bikes home, where she still is left speechless. We then see them at the family dinner table. Insert Nikakao avocado joke here. Then, back to Maya's room, where she's watching some of that good old hentai. A knock is heard on her door, and Coco and Mai have come to ask Maya if she wants to play a board game with them. Maya responds by refusing their offer, something that I honestly didn't expect. I honestly thought that Maya would join them after what happened today, but no. It shows that even after her sisters helped, Maya is still unsociable.
Look, Pim, I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
Then again, resolving a character's arc in the pilot would pretty much make a eventual series worthless. Coco and Mai respect Maya's wishes and bid her a good evening. The final shot of the pilot shows Coco and Mai Mai playing their game, and in the next room over, Maya has gone on her bed, cuddling with her plushie and eavesdropping on her sisters having fun without her. The shot holds as the outro music plays, and we get a list of contributors that have helped fund the series so far. One of them has the name Dutch is a Silly Language, which I find quite silly. And with that ends not only Deal 6, but Oni Zelig as a whole. The first time I found out about Oni Zelig was somewhere around January 2020, and it was on WorkSafe GIF. It was a cartoon thread, and I can remember that there was this Anon that posted Deal 1 and 2 as WebM files. He even linked to another thread on Ko talking about Oni Zelig. Since then, I've been following the pilot until its final part. I think the reason why I admire Oni Zelig so much is because of its content. I don't really see a lot of TV shows or web series with the same type of characters as Oni Zelig, presented with the same wonderful animation as Oni Zelig, and have the same dark humor as Oni Zelig. But the main reason why I like it so much is because it was made by an independent artist. See, Studio Massa collects their funds in making Oni Zelig through this website. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, but apparently it means hat in English, so I'm just gonna call it that. It's through this Dutch version of Patreon that people can donate money to help Studio Massa create episodes of Oni Zelig, and in turn they get a few rewards, like having their names in the credits, or even having a few bonus artwork from the creators. Around the time when Deal 6 was released, the hat page for Oni Zelig was paused, and the answers were all linked below the description. And while the page is loosely translated, you can still get a feel of what's going on in this response. To make this short, Studio Massa first clarifies that the idea for Oni Zelig is not dead, but under anesthesia. They explained the reason why they locked the page was because the primary purpose of it was to finish the pilot, and with the pilot finally completed, there's no need to have people donating. The creator explained their life while working on Oni Zelig, saying they had to give up on 5 years of interest and how they planned to earn enough money to quit their day job so they could work on Oni Zelig full time, which unfortunately failed. They go on to state that the live streams and art illustrations, which were counted as rewards, would continue, and updates will mainly be on their Discord. They announce other things, like the official hat page for Studio Massa, which they link afterwards, and the creator's thoughts on the future of Oni Zelig. They state that Oni Zelig has to go through the pitch process in order to find an interested producer, and they also hint at the idea of remaking the first 3 deals and a potential spin-off of Oni Zelig. Now, Oni Zelig's obscurity has made it a bit difficult in making this video, as there doesn't seem to be that many eyes on it. Probably the only site out there where this pilot is popular is on 4chan, as that's where I found this in the first place. Doesn't mean that there aren't other forums. After all, there was a fandom wiki of Oni Zelig. Somewhere between the time I first got into Oni Zelig and the time of making this video, the fandom wiki page was terminated. The only wiki out there to have Oni Zelig is the Soyjack wiki. Even then, that's just a shitpost wiki made for goofs and laughs. And unless you've seen the pilot on YouTube, you're gonna be confused on a lot of things. Speaking of YouTube, I only found 2 videos talking about Oni Zelig that also include Watamode. One of them is a Watamode comparison review, and the other one is speed drawing of a crossover, even though the only crossover I want to see with Oni Zelig is this one. Genre-wise, both of these properties are different. Oni Zelig comes across as more of a comedic slice of life, with some serious moments about loneliness here and there, but it's still executed in a entertaining fashion. Meanwhile, Watamode can be more serious than funny at times, but when it does, it usually utilizes cringe comedy, whereas Oni Zelig uses dark humor. Though I'm not against the idea that there wasn't some influence in Oni Zelig's production from Wild Mode, as both their main characters, Tomoko and Maya, are very similar to each other. And the general idea is that Wild Mode is more of an influence to Oni Zelig. But anyways, that was Oni Zelig. Personally, I think Oni Zelig is one of the greatest pilots on the web, and it's even given me a broader view of the Dutch side of animation. It's even inspired me to draw for a little bit. Albeit terribly, but it's in the right direction. Hopefully there will be more coming out of this web cartoon, because I truly think that Oni Zelig needs to be more than just an untouched pilot. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Either way, I'll still be viewing this hidden gem from time to time.
Dus, dit is hoe het eindigt.
Is het duidelijk zo, Maya?
Ja?
Spreek mij niet aan, samen voel ik me meer alleen. Vergeet mijn naam, jij en ik hebben niets gemeen. Nee, jij krijgt een enkeltje naar de rijstvel, jij vuile sodomiet!
Omdat dat ons leuk lijkt. En omdat we familie zijn. En ik niet wil dat jij je eenzaam voelt. Omdat ik weet dat je geen vrienden hebt.
Ik zei altijd dat ik anders was dan de rest. Nu blijf ik stil voordat
Ik ben niet eenzaam. Eenzaamheid is een extraverte complot. Ik heb je niet.
waarin ik me niet heb. Herinneringen die ik nooit heb meegemaakt. Ben ik mezelf aan het traumatiseren.
Wat?
Let niet op mij, ik ben het maar. Kijk door me heen. Ik ga liever dood dan uit de slapen. Alsjeblieft alleen, neem mij niet waar. Ik ben het maar.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences